There was no more terrifying and troubling fear than a man whose soul was in an unstable pit. I was very worried about the future with a young child, but if she had gall and guts, she should be able to get through it. Human life and destiny may be degraded to the right and left by a great invisible force. But that is why I strongly believe that the virtues that should be accumulated are those that are accumulated in hurry. This time, I would like to talk about a past experience that was very familiar to me. This was a rather faded memory 30 years ago, but I would like to pass it on because it is a story that I will never forget. At that time, I was a naive boy who had just graduated from high school and entered society. After graduating from school, he worked part-time for a while and obtained a driver license with his savings. I didn't have the money to buy a new car, so I followed an acquaintance, bought a cheap used car, and spent my time driving aimlessly. One summer, I took my best friend from middle school and his friend to an abandoned hospital in a neighboring town that is famous as a haunted house. He's a so-called gut tester. In their late teens, they were interested in all sorts of things, and it was very uncomfortable to talk about women, cars, and even the brand of cigarettes they smoked. The weather that I remember that day was quite mismatched, even considering that it was summer and it was not humid, and even at night it was a pleasant climate with a crisp, cool, and pleasant spring breeze running down my cheeks. Since I'm a teen, I feel that the fact that my entertainment tends to be less inclined to alcohol is inevitably combined with running outdoors. I felt that the current situation of random grave robbery and rude grave visiting, which continue to this day in various parts of the country, is still prevalent among young people. At that time, I felt that we were at an age where we were barely able to maintain sobriety until the moral cords were completely removed, and we had minimum understanding that humiliating the soul of the diseased from the ground up was not permissible from a moral point of view. Where it's clear that criminal activities and has never been bad. My best friend was vulnerable friend with whom we shared time in class and exercise, as well as in our private lives. He obtained a driver's license while he was in high school, and he obtained a driver license after graduating from high school by saving a small amount of money from a part-time job due to financial circumstances. I remember going out in the second half of June, and my impressions of my youth are not a bit of a thing. At that time, the group consisted of four members: myself, my best friend, I, and one male and one female, who my best friend had brought. After eating at a family restaurant, which is now becoming a posthumous affair, the topic naturally turned to occult things. Hey, Koji, something, some kind of scary haunted house? Well, there is, and there is none. What that? Be clear, it's going to be fun. My best friend, I was a typical diplomatic type, a nice guy with outstanding sociability who was endlessly cheerful and entertained by those around him. Even though it is a group of four, the relationship between me and I, and the relationship between I and the two men and women, is subtle, and on the surface it consists of two groups, myself and I, who are formally related, and the other two, including I couldn't shake the feeling of being an outsider, so I tended to refrain from speaking out. Seeing that I didn't boil over and didn't speak, I felt that the two men and women I met for the first time today were in a date. He is flying an unsteady gaze in the air that seems to want him to do something. If you run to Lake XX from here, there is a rumored physic hospital. So do you want to go there? Wow, you got to go. Say it quickly. The rumored abandoned hospital was a large general hospital that used to exist near the lake next to the town where they lived. The details were unknown, but it seems to have gone out of business a long time ago, and the majesty of the white building towers over the vast site. According to local residents, it has become a famous haunted spot known only to those who hear about it. The four young people who were dangling out of curiosity and bared their guts set off to a famous place that is said to be the location of the devil while being excited. Less than 5 minutes after leaving the family restaurant, I entered the road where the mountain road continued along the XX lake. The exterior was reminiscent of early summer, but after 9 o'clock at night, the scene from the car was covered in total darkness and it felt like being plunged into the depths of hell. The relative application of being rural was that there were extremely few light sources. It is the best situation for young people who are about to experience fear. I felt little uncomfortable that the wind was too dry. It took less than 15 minutes to get to the site one way. On the night, as it curved to the right after ascending a gentle mountain road, an abandoned hospital covered with thick mossy green ivy appears. Hey, hey, I guess this is it, but it looks kind of dangerous. Why did you build a hospital like this? My best friend I is making an incendiary call to the other three people who are unexpectedly not excited, but I can't get rid of my tension and aloofness, so I make a casual remark that doesn't fit the scene. I'm going to stop after all. What's that? Keiko, are you going to drop it because you've come this far? T, what's about you? I'm fine. I and three of my friends were mentally disturbed when they were brought to the depths of the mountain as if they were the embodiment of the countryside. He seemed surprised to see the appearance of an unusually large and unsuitable old ruin. They seemed to be surprisingly naive friends despite being with them. That's it. Well, it looks like you're going to get in there. Oh, oh, after seeing the ruins, I climbed the slope for a while and found an entrance with a thick metal chain on the right. I parked the car on the left side, removed the rusty and blackened figure eight iron chain, and went inside. The vast grounds in front of the site are overgrown with tired weeds here and there. I couldn't see the depths due to the haze and darkness of the night, but on the right was the three-story building I saw when I passed by earlier, and in the back on the left was the ruins of a hospital with the main building. The four men entered the premises by stopping their car in front of the entrance. The area is dark, and a small electric light in front of the entrance to the site emits a weak light. Dark clouds hang over the sky, and to their left the shadows of the trees extending from the pitch black mountain range covered them. As I mentioned earlier, the only thing that remained as a feeling of discomfort was the dry air, which did not resemble a taste of the river. The four young men feel as if they are already in a bind, and they are bound by a fear from which they cannot turn back. It was not possible to determine whether it was due to the peculiar momentum of use of the guidance of some invisible force. I walked from the entrance to the main building, and in less than 5 minutes I came to the place that was supposed to be the entrance to the hospital. The entrance is closed by a thick white partition, so you can see inside from the spot. This place was also closed by a metal chain, and it seemed that access was strictly restricted. A four-man strategy meeting began in front of a white partition, but I and my two friends, a man and woman, were waiting for someone to give them the go ahead. It is not possible to determine whether it is to continue going inside or to stop completely and turn back. Feeling that he could not find the right, he found a gap in the partition that was partially open and declared that he would go first. Just like at the family restaurant, the sparkle in his right-hand eye changed to a curious gaze and supportive expression. Each of the four holds a small flashlight, but they refrain from doing so because looking directly at each other's faces might amplify their fears. The moment when the spotlight shine is limited to the inventor who makes the decisive statement. So everyone seemed to have a common understanding of the timing. Look, it looks like you can go from here. Seriously, are you going? This man named T was an extremely incommunicative person, but this was the first time he had this opinion seriously. I was wo- worried that my attention would be focused only on the top, but I was concerned about broken glass and relatively large stone lying on the ground. At times like these, unexpected injuries and accidents can lead to serious situations. Fear and nervousness have a huge impact on the overall physically. Everyone, your feet are dangerous, so take a closer look. When you enter through the partition, there is a glass enclosed the entrance in front, and all the glass is broken and scattered on the ground. There was incomprehensible graffiti on the walls and ceiling that would have been spray cans. Most of them are banned words, and no one comments on the graffiti. When I entered from the first floor, there was a space of about 50 tsubo, but there was nothing inside except a small desk and locker that was junk. There seemed to be a staircase leading from the back of the left to the top, but it seemed to be above it that seemed to be really dangerous. Silence ensues after someone makes a statement that there is nothing. I want to identify myself as a leader. Do you want to go upstairs? Yada, yada, yada. Let's stop it. It's a big deal. So look at it, and maybe you should go home. I didn't know if my remarks had more weight or if I thought I would be cursed if disagreed. But we all gathered up the courage to check on the situation upstairs. Each step is getting heavier and heavier. When I got out of the car, I still had a dry skin, but the temperature and humidity inside this building felt about 2 from 3 degrees lower than the outside air. Symptoms such as corrosion of water pipes and leaks due to cracks in buildings often, often increased the humidity in the room and made the atmosphere uncomfortable. The four of us climbed the concrete stair in row like dumpling, and the long corridor stretched to the left and right. On the right, on the right, the warm air blows on your face, perhaps because of the passage of the wind, but you can't go to the other side because some desk block the passage like barricades. The left side of the road was visible, probably due to the angle of the right, so inevitably went in the direction. There were there are no row of hospital rooms, probably inpatient beds on the right. I wonder what it is that I can see dimly at the far end of the other side. The attention of the four people is distributed to each other, so you may be the only one who is aware of the right source. If you go on for a while, yeah, no, no, there's something growing dangerous. Isn't it fire? Do you want to run away? What is a fireball? It is TV location. Keiko's the action, even if the tempo was off, was enough to intensify the agitation of the four of them. The source of the light was about 100 meters away from here, but everyone was sucked into the place and approached. The pale, small, powerful flame that shines brightly certainly does not look like a fireball. Everyone bent down and slowly approached in a position where they could run on their backs at any time. When I opened the old door with a double page spread, there was a man head with frosted glass on the right side. On the other side, just below it, there is some kind of cinder scattered around. There is evidence that someone was burning something. It seemed that something had indeed been burned just before they entered the room. I had learned in home economy class that this kind of smell would occur when something that looked like rotten meat was half burned, so I was able to quickly understand the content of the smell. Sure enough, there were white packs and transparent plastic wrap scattered around them as if they were picked up at the supermarket. Someone getting in? Hey, you, what are you doing? Who's that? I, full of a sense of justice, found a beggar like person crouching in the outer corridor of the building. I described him as a beggar because he was a poorly dressed man, as if he had made the end of the world. He was dressed to look at a piece of tattered cloth, and his hair was unkempt, and he looked like he was going to appear in a comedy. What made me feel most uncomfortable was an unbearable body odor that filled the room. It is mixed with all kinds of unpleasant odors that cannot be expressed in simple words. I myself am the same, but other three are also holding their nose and fainting in agony, probably because of the difficulty of breathing. Are you camping in a place like this? Uh, 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 Hey, I, I, aren't you foreigner? Are you okay? There is a word for recluse, and it can be said that it is a perfect expression for this person. Anyway, his whole body was covered in dust and he stood like an earthling. The reason why the personality was not clear was because the physiognomy could not be confirmed firmly. What makes it stand out unusually even in the dark is that its black eyes give off a glaring power. Unknown tribes are sometimes found in places like the Amazon jungle, which makes us imagine such a race. If you live a life that is far from the stereotyped appearance and the constraint of the human world, you may be born a naked person like this. For some reason, I feel like my soul is being taken away. It was a strange impression that it was uncomfortable and at the same time brought about a nostalgic feeling. The other three of them feel like they are out of place. I came to test my mettle, but apart from the area building, there were only the homeless people I didn't know, and they seemed to regret that I didn't get anything out of it. The fact that it has only been a little over an hour since I parked my car in front of the entrance amplified the feeling of unsatisfactory. It's kind of subtle. I've come this far, but what do I do? What are you going to do? Go back to the family restaurant and do it as a drink bar. There's a special dangerous place. But why don't you go there? What that? What are you talking about? Is it a place where even pick up teachers to teach together? Why? Because of this floor. Revenge is a ghost story. A ghost story. Where is it? Is it far away? It's a spot on the dam lake on the other side of the town. Down the mountain from here. Through the town. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I didn't reject the plan I proposed, but since I went to the haunted spot and ate the empty hand, I should have just gone home quietly. The innocent young man had no sense to care about such things. The four of them turned back the way they came, passed through the town, and headed for the dam lake. The dam lake was a very important source of water for those areas and was an indispensable place for distributing water over a wide area. However, it has become a dangerous night spot known only to those in the know in a place where disturbing legends and legends about water are constant. This is a side road of the dam lake, and the road is narrow, so lock that door. Hmm, I'm not a kid. Don't think about it. The first anomaly suddenly appeared on the road at the halfway point on the way to the dam lake. Ha ha. That war. Oh my gosh. Oh, ha ha ha. What? What are you talking about? Did your stomach hurt? The handle is handle. Hey, do something about it. The steering wheel of the second-hand sedan driven by, I suddenly stuck and became inoperable. As I sat in the passenger seat, I could clearly see that the steering wheel I was holding was unnaturally bent to the left and fixed. I'm trying to put the stuck handle back on, but I can't move it at all. It as if someone is hitting the left side of the mountain with a strong force. At least that's how it seems to me. Hey, do something about it. Hey, what's going on? The other three passengers were completely overwhelmed by the abnormal situation happening in front of them and were so frightened that they couldn't react. Oh, 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 oh. It's okay. It's okay. Look. Ga, 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 boo. The car came to stop in a shallow gutter with a ditch on the left. The left side of the car was slightly scratched, and the trauma was not so much, but the agitation of the four people in the car was tremendous. The four of them got out of the car. When I looked around, I could see that the pink fog covered the area. A grey book like a curtain hanging from the sky is covering our heads. The humidity and air were much heavier and thicker than the level of the town. I tried to escape the car stuck in the ditch while checking the operation of the car myself. I was able to escape quickly because of the accumulation of fallen leaves at the bottom of the ditch, but the light on the left side of the ditch was broken and I couldn't get it. Feeling that it would be unbearable to continue in this way, the group moved on to continue their search. Less than a kilometer from there, I muttered quietly, "Hey, this is on the left side, and it's Mr. X house. The car is parked on a side road in front of a slightly vacant lot on the left. The left front is covered with low leaves and bamboo. But if you look closely, you can see an old building with a reddish brown tin roof. The sides of the house were surrounded by blue iron plates, and it looked like some kind of storage warehouse. What made me feel uncomfortable was the contrast between the surrounding environment and this building. It is true that the building is old and obviously not recent, but I feel that there is a problem with the way the building is managed. As far as the naked eye can see, the roof of the top plate and the surrounding iron materials have been recently repaired and are not old. The surrounding area was a jungle where wild boar and bear and could not out. But really, this place is the only one that is strangely maintained. It was as if it were a holy place. It maintained a solemn dignity that keeps people inhospitable. No, it's not the grudges, and fossils that repel those who approach them are manifested, manifested as negative energy emanating from the building and its surroundings. Hey, what are you going to do? Would you like to go inside? That's right, you are going in. You are not going in? No one responded in a timely manner to my joking response to the suggestion I had made. I am overwhelmed by the negative aura created by a mere Balak, but that is nothing out of the ordinary. It was a feeling that I was experiencing the experience that there is such a dangerous place in the world. I'm a little sick. Maybe not. Keiko's appearance is strange. His face was pale, and he seemed to be in pain as he slumped in the back seat. My eyes are bloodshot and my breathing is labored. Perhaps he is biting his back teeth hard, but the slightly audible ticking of his teeth echoes in the car. It's really bad. So around here, do you want to go home? Stopping is also a grown up game. I said something that I wasn't sure if I was confused or trying to soothe him with humor, and I started running back the way I came. The inside of the car is filled with a gloomy atmosphere. I was worried about Kate's condition, so I took her to a night hospital that accepts emergencies. After waiting in the waiting room for several hours, I was told by my supervisor that I had an unexpected diagnosis. She had a child in her belly, which means she was heavy. I, no, 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 sir. Well, maybe so, but who is the father? What does that have to do with being sick? In other words, is it past tense to say that it was a burden? What does that mean? Confused by the unexpected turn of events, he asked the young doctor in date glasses who was wearing a freshly created white coat to explain what was going on. This doctor also expressed his opinion gravely, wrinkling his eyebrows as if it was a difficult case. I've been asked a few questions, but what I can tell you now is that she was once pregnant. and the child she was supposed to have was a deformed baby. That it means that he is both a deformed child and premature baby, and because of his condition, his physical condition has deteriorated severely. The three men were speechless and dejected. I regretted taking him to such place. I made a meeting with myself and decided to open this place. That's right. I couldn't be in the mood to enjoy summertime any longer. Even though I had just met him, I thought it was a tragic ending. After a while, I got in touch with him. As we talked about each other's recent situation, the topic of that test of gut came up. I it she's okay at that time. My liver didn't get cold and my chest got sick. I don't know because I haven't seen those two since then. I don't know. Do you have a relationship? I don't know because it's not that much. Its nonchalant attitude made me feel something. I feel like I'm reluctant to be asked about that time. I knew that I had been dating for a long time, but it was an itchy feeling at the tip of my nose. After about a month, I was curious about why I wanted to see the abandoned hospital visited at that time. This was due to the desire to keep the whole impression in the right hour of the day. When I visited them place again during the day, this time it was locked even more tightly and I could not enter the parking space in front of the gate, get around the premises. From the outside, the tall weeds obstruct the view, and you can't see much of the situation in the back. Everywhere there was tighter and heavier iron rocks than when I came the other day, and it was impossible to enter the building. I had no choice but to stop by the town hall in charge and check the situation with the department in charge. Where the other day I was playing a prank with a few friends and I went to the ruin of a collapsed hospital in the depths of the mountain. Can I go there anymore? What? Did you enter art school? So what are requirements? No, for some reason I can't go inside at all. So it's strange. What do you do when you go inside? Outsiders read around something, out of nothing. Not actually, I got into the building, so I'm sorry. It's funny, there's nothing inside, but there's only a memorial tower built by the town. Didn't go somewhere else? Memorial tower was kind of memorial service, is it? It has nothing to do with your whole house. Is it the media or some kind of person? No, no, not at all. I'm a person from the next town, and I went there because an acquaintance was trying my guts. But I'm sorry, I was inconvenienced. A long time ago, that hospital was a palliative hospital that accepted terminally ill patients, but it was closed due to large number of suspicious deaths. Closed? It is becoming a well-established theory that he died of food poisoning, but the truth seems to be that he was actually poisoned by a staff member. Again, I'm sorry that miserable. No, it's okay. This kind of story is common in the countryside. Are you satisfied? Yes, no, really. I'm sorry for this disturbance. I was curious about their relationship with abandoned hospital, so I decided to contact them again. I, you knew she was pregnant. How is it? It doesn't matter to you. I don't care about that anymore. Boo, boo, boo. While I was debating with him, I received an urgent call from the staff of the government office who had been briefed earlier. Is it Koji-san? I'm person from the government office. I responded to earlier, but I hear it that the body of a person named Mr. K was raised at Lake Bats. Maybe it's someone you know? Oh, yes, yes, that's right. I put the call back on hold and asked, you, she and T were dating, and you knew she had a child in her belly. What's going on? Mm, ho, ho, ho. Mm. Where is Tina? It's completely missing. I was surprised and terrified by the outcome of the event, and I decided not to go any deeper and have a relationship. This development was destined to be unfortunate. After a while, the death status of Keiko became clear. There is a lake management hut on the shore of the lake, and I took off my shoes and threw myself into the lake. It is said that a large stone was tied to the abandoned abdomen of the raised body to make it wait. Keiko gave up her own life, and the tea also disappeared, but she should be judged by invisible force. That abandoned hospital must have been witnessed by all four of us at that time at night. Could it be that I saw what I couldn't see? Boo, boo, boo. It's a call from someone again. Koji, I'm not going back there for a while, so don't ask me. What that? What's going on again? You were kidding. Didn't see it at the end when I came back from Mr. XX's house. There was a man dressed in white food chased me with great vigor. I don't care anymore. I said that venting my anger and fear and abruptly hung up the phone. Even now, I can't get in touch with that friend. I. It may have been nearly 30 years now, and I wondered if he was doing well. But now he had completely lost the way to be sure. I learned deeply that the entertainment of testing the guts should not be taken lightly, and it was an unfortunate strong talk that occurred in the summer of my youth. End.